Hello, everybody. This is Eris, the Kerbal. I'm back with a second video. Um, I'm sorry that it took me over a week, but sometimes it'll take you over a week. Um, so I had a lot of difficulty with this one. Um, it was really just a bunch of stuff. But anyways, we're back with our sandbox save, and today I decided that I was going to try and make a space station. I don't remember why I accidentally clicked the astronaut. Oh, because I thought that this was a career mode for a bit. Um, so you might be asking, why is she like only talking? Why is there no like actual game audio? And the reason why is because my computer didn't record my mic audio. And then on top of that, it only recorded game audio from one side. I know, really crazy, right? So instead of having you just blasted with music from your left side, from your left ear or right ear, I'm not exactly sure. Anyways, I just decided I was gonna get rid of the audio, and this is just going to really be just a voiceover. So, and I'm sorry for my mic. I'm like just figuring this out. I'm going to try to be working this. But anyways, so I was thinking at first, oh, I'm going to be using these really big fuel tanks because I've done that like so many times. And you'll see me working through this, um, and like I'm almost there, so many times. But then suddenly I realize, wait a second, this is a space station core. Why am I putting fuel tanks on a space station core? And it's about like here that I was going through, and I was like, wait a second, no, I should actually probably just, use it like a space station core and not a branch. Or, well, it was a little bit on. I think it was actually right about here-ish, um, more or less. But you'll see. I suddenly realize at some point where I'm like, wait, what am I doing? And I stop and I like get rid of everything. Just a second. Sorry. I just had to take a little mental break and collect my thoughts. Um, I'm doing a completely interrupted um voiceover. I've decided, at least right now, to not have any music just because it's much louder than I can be. I'm using this old Turtle Beach PX3 mic, and this thing was supposed to be used for like the PS3, nevertheless a computer. So, just a second. Sorry, I had to just blow my nose really quick. As said, this is supposed to be uninterrupted, so I don't want to, clutter it up with my nose or anything. So, and at this point, I was realizing, wait a second, I could connect, but then I also realized, wait, these pieces are way too small. Luckily, I have a mod called Tweak Scale, and with Tweak Scale, I can, actually make things like bigger or larger, and I decided to make this one bigger. Now, I don't know what I was thinking here, but I was thinking like, oh, I'm going to sink it in and like it'll like all be covered, but later on you'll see that I decided completely against this because it's just not necessarily a good idea in my opinion. I mean, it doesn't really look good, and also I can fit a whole lot more with my setup that I decided to choose. Um, and I so sorry again for the lack of real like music. It's pretty much just my voice, but I'm figuring this out. Like my old software was like much better than this, but I mean, this is still great software. I definitely recommend it, but also I don't have really a good microphone. And like this is more professional than I'm really used to. Um, Otherwise, I would very easily like get this stuff all worked out. So as you see, I actually had to stop here because I actually had to go. No, 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 not at this point. Um, Later on, I actually had to go down to dinner and like all that. But what happened here was I was actually kind of freaking out, and then I also saw suddenly I realized, oh wait a second, duh, I can't do it like that because it's connected to the top. And then I decided, hey, what if I just put this on top of itself? You know, because well, it looks good, so just do it on top. Later on, you'll see I actually messed this up a little bit because that docking port down at the bottom is flipped over wrong, and I don't realize it until like much much later on. Um, and I actually, in the recording, freaked out a bit about it. I was kind of freaking out. So, but I figured it out, and I think actually I'm probably gonna make the video go a bit faster starting now. So, what I'm doing right here really is just putting on docking ports because I'm gonna make this thing like modular, and you can't see it quite yet, I don't think, but I did mess up there. And here I'm putting on, um, I was just trying to put on some RCS, and I start really freaking out right now. But then I jumped so I could actually put on the RCS correctly. Um, and then back right there is when I actually had to go to dinner, but I came back up and I did this. And if I sound tired, it's because it's 9 o'clock right now, and looking outside, it's like dark, super dark. Um, but here I decided that I didn't really have a plan for that top docking port, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to make this be able to dock to ships. And I thought the bottom maybe I would do the same. And here, right here is, now that I look at it, right here is what happened. When I took it off there, it flipped itself. I didn't even realize it until I was already too far in space, and by that point, I was like, what's the point? Um, if I could, I would definitely go down and change it, but I didn't. So, and here I am launching it into space, and so right now I was actually gonna have a joke where like I was gonna cut and suddenly be in space using space magic and stuff. Yeah, alright, so if you notice that wonderful cut, I really just went and used cheats to cheat myself into space. And here I was gonna like cut out and like say, oh no, that's not working. But I just had to make sure that it would actually work. I mean, after all, this is a sandbox save and not an actual, like career mode. So I don't really feel bad about the cheats. So now I'm going back and I'm gonna start with the solar panel modules, and this is where I'm gonna really because this took me like about 15 minutes just making it. So I don't want you guys to really sit through all of that. So instead, just gonna speed it up by 400%. Um, and this will like go by pretty relatively fast. I mean, it could go by faster, but I mean, hey, I guess if you like my voice for whatever reason, you're about to see it. And yeah, I just want to make sure that that was good. Now, something you might realize here, you might not, but definitely veteran players will almost instantly realize this. I didn't put on auto strut immediately. Or rather, yeah, auto strut because I didn't even think about it, and that's an amateur move right there. Oh God, where I put on, I was gonna put on a radial, um, attachment point for some reason. Um, but here also, I'm I decide to not cheat as much by actually putting on um, monopropellant tanks. Mostly just to balance it out, but also because I mean it works and it looks kind of cool. Now, the docking, which will happen very shortly, I'm just going, cheat this thing into space right about like, you know, about in like a few seconds. I don't remember. Here it is. Now I am going to just cheat this thing into space. Um, almost rendezvoused with myself. But so here I am in space, and just right now I'm trying to look for the space station. Then I saw it, and I was like, oh, well there you go. And I don't know how I got this on the first try. I somehow, and this is all right. This right here, that's when I realized I screwed up. So, but I really couldn't do anything about it by then. And here I was going to say I'm going to use the Lown method of docking. Um, this is not actually the Lown method. The Lown method is obviously it's not actually the Lown method, but it's jokingly named after Matt Lown, who jokingly said, "Well, anybody who wants to use it can now, say that they're using the Lown method of docking." Um, I turned on RCS, but I forgot here to also turn on infinite propellant until later. Um, but it doesn't really matter because honestly, the more nimble um, spacecraft, which is the one docking, is the more important one. And so I know that this docking is probably going to take quite a while, but I want you guys to see it just to understand at least just how long it takes for this to actually dock properly. Because I'm doing this twice. I'm doing it first this time, and then later I'm going to do it again. Um, because I didn't want just one side with solar panels. Um, so yeah, this is um, sorry about all the ums and uhs, but like I don't really know exactly what to say. So here, I'm actually surprised just how fast I got docked. Now he said, alright, I'm going to open up the solar panels, see how it is. When I suddenly realized they were in the wrong orientation. Now many people would revert the flight, go back, but I said, no, 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 no. You know what I'm going to do? Screw it. I'm just going to undock and I'm going to redock, which you're about to see me do here. And also, I was like, I should probably also put infinite of those on, which now makes me realize I never turned off infinite electricity. So I was going to do a test to see like how well the solar panels worked and if I need a battery bank or not. And I did that test, but I forgot until literally just now um, that I never turned it off. But anyways, as you see there, I was like trying to redock, and redocking is actually, for me at least, more difficult than like first time docking. I don't know why. If it's and if anybody else plays Kerbal Space Program out there, it tell me in the comments. Is it more difficult for you as well, or is it just because I'm a bit stupid? But anyways, so like I'm gonna be trying to redock for like a long while, but eventually I'm gonna get it. I think I'm gonna get it like yeah, for some reason I thought, oh, I'm gonna try doing this. Yeah, this didn't really help me in the end. If anything, I think it just made my job harder. Um, I like was legitimately thinking about just starting over, but I didn't. You should all be happy that I didn't, otherwise we'd be here for even longer. I mean, this video, I'm looking at it right here in the editor, and already it looks like it's going to be more than 30 minutes long. So, just be happy you didn't get a 45-minute long video instead. Um, because I was about to do that. Yeah, it took me like way longer than it should have. But see, right there, I did it. Um, and I was even thinking, oh, I don't have it exactly perfect. I'm going to try again. But then a part of my mind said, what? Are you fucking crazy? Oh, and it's at this point I suddenly realized, oh shit, I don't have auto strut on. So I went and I auto strutted. Um, and I'm going to just speed up this next part. Because it's just me auto strutting. And I'm going to probably speed up the docking as well. And that also might actually shorten the video by quite a bit because the other docking took like 10 minutes by itself. So I don't necessarily want you guys to have to go through 10 minutes of that. And I'm not sure if my voice will be, or if I can really think of 10 extra minutes of content. So I'm going to probably speed it up starting about now. Alright, so I did indeed speed it up, and what you're gonna see me doing here really is just auto strutting everything because I thought, I don't want to have to do it while I'm in space this time. So yeah, so for right now that's all that's happening, and then I'm about to actually speed it up even more um to lengthen the video, so it's actually just barely under like about 20 and a half minutes. Um, so I speeded it up again just about now. As you can see, we're going way faster. But when I did this, it took me like 10 minutes just to like actually dock completely. However, you'll see I actually made a quick save, I think, or something like that. No, here, I, I just decided I was going to try it all over again. And I'm actually happy that I did because as it turns out, I probably would have destroyed those solar panels if I hadn't. And well, it wouldn't have been very pretty. So then, like, it took me 5 more minutes just to get those back. But then, finally, I did, and I said, you know what, I'm going to try opening up the solar panels. When I realized, oh, this is in the wrong orientation. So I undocked again. I turned around. I rotated it a little bit, and then I tried for like 2 minutes to like just dock, and then finally I docked. And so finally now I'm back at normal speed, and I undid, I folded out the solar panels and everything was looking great. And now I really, really do wish that I had remembered about the infinite electricity because I was thinking, well, I'm going to check the electricity requirements, see how it's going. And then there I was talking about like how I really wish I could have gone back and undid it. But then I thought, you know what? No, it's actually it could be like an end cap. Or alternatively, and I just thought of this now, um, I could like have like this station pull up to another one maybe, and like maybe they could connect, but like not, maybe they could like touch or something. I'm not exactly sure, but I sped up so that I would come around the bottom, and I was thinking, maybe I'll add on radiators next, right? And then I realized, wait a second, I've been recording just this part for 30 minutes because like um it took me like quite a long while. So I will now actually say, you know what? I think I've recorded for long enough. Um, Everybody, I will see you all in the next video. This has been Eris the Kerbal. tune in next time, either next week or next year, who knows, to see me add radiators to this. And everybody have a very good and very safe day. Cheers. And thank you very, very much to everybody who has watched. Thank you.